fins, let me see you jets. If you want a water, let me see you jets. If you had the hard ride, let me see you jets. Get some space, get some space, get some space, kinda.
Waddle with it, 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 waddle with it. Waddle with it, 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 waddle with it.
That's first down. Yeah, yeah. That's touchdown. Yeah, yeah. You want more? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Dolphins, won't you throw it up? Won't you throw it up? You in that east side, gon' throw it up. Gon' throw it up. What about that west side? Gon' throw it up. Gon' throw it up. Over in that yellow line, gon' throw it up. Won't you throw it up? If you down with them fins, let me see you jump. If you want a water, let me see you jump. If you had the hard ride, let me see you jump.
Do that water. Shake it, shake it.
If you down with them fins, let me see you jump. If you want a water, let me see you jump. If you had the hard ride, let me see you jump.
Do that water. Shake it, shake it. Waddle with it, 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 waddle with it. Waddle with it, 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 waddle with it.
That's first down. Yeah, yeah. That's touchdown. Yeah, yeah. You want more? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Do that water. Shake it, shake it. Do that water. Shake it, shake it.
Who that?
So low deep.
D Miami Sports Music, salute.
All right, no,
Bless up. We got finger licking live.
Know, man.
It's Kane over here. Turn over chain, 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 turn over chain. You seen Big Homie get the fumble? He get a turnover chain. Seen Big Homie get the pick off? He get a turnover chain, 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 turnover chain. You see the whole crowd going user? We want the turnover chain. See the whole crowd going crazy? We want that turnover chain, turnover chain. Turnover chain is deeper than jewelry, deeper than blink. It's deeper. See, this is our thing, and you as the team is strictly for Kane. Invented the swag, you rented and brag, but we want it back. Let me get that. But you can keep the old one, cause we keep something new in the bag. All of these players is hungry, don't come in here thinking it's funny. We aiming for something, rocking the chains when it's sunny. Even when raining or slumming, we ain't gonna be slumming. I hope the quarterback don't think it's sweet. The defense will make them take a seat. Let somebody strip the ball out. Let somebody get a Cuban link. Now you know how it go with the fans though. We be going wild out in the stands though. If you're not with the team, you're not familiar. If you throwing U's up, you're not familiar. Come on, get loose like a band, trombone. Throw 3 or 5 up, my home. CWA, tell them about it. All the Canes going wild when we yelling this out. Turn over chain, 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 turn over chain. You seen Big Homie get the fumble? He get a turnover chain. Seen Big Homie get the pick off? He get a turnover chain, 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 turnover chain. You see the whole crowd going user? We want the turnover chain. See the whole crowd going crazy? We want that turnover chain. Who that?
So low deep. So low deep.
It's some Canes over here. It's some Canes over here.
You already know, man. We're right here with the legend, man. Live and direct, man. Pat Train, and it's going down, man. Solo DWA.
What's up, man? Shout out to Miami Sports Music.
Hey. It's the new anthem for the new era. fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit.
It's the new era and we back up in the mix.
Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit. Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit. Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit.
It's the new era and we back up in the mix.
Throw it up. Throw your foe up in the sky. Throw it up. Let them know that we gon' ride. Where you from? We be reppin' worldwide.
DWA, stay loyal till we die.
What is the come up? We been down for a minute. This the come up. We been reppin' stay consistent. This the come up. Now the world gotta feel it. Reppin' so loud, whole world gotta hear it. New era. Dolphins on the clizzard. Tick, tick, tizzard. Till we reach the tizzard. This a never stizzard. Reppin' till we drizzard. So low D, I be reppin' with this hip hop. Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit. Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit. Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit.
It's the new era and we back up in the mix.
Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit. Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit. Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit.
It's the new era and we back up in the mix.
It's the new era and we back up in the mix. Ain't no more relying on fits. It's time for Tua to get us lit. That's why we got Waddle at 6 and Jalen Phillips is a brick at 36. We got Javon Hollins batting hit stick. Eichenberg protecting hips. 2 whole years and he ain't slipped. Run along, he got that gritter, triple threat, he's so legit. Garner Coleman, Jared Dokes, the 7th round was such a gift. That's why we toast, that's why we sip, that's why we reppin' MSM. Miami sports music, don't confuse it, don't abuse it. Unless you want a new contusion, real talk, ain't no illusion. Solo D started a movement, MSM the institution. TD fins the contribution, yeah, we started a new unit.
Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit. Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit. Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit.
It's the new era and we back up in the mix.
Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit. Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit. Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit.
It's the new era and we back up in the mix.
MIAMIDOLPHINs. Where do I begin? I've been rapping since a kid. If you rapping, then we can.
DWA, if you reppin', then we can.
Welcome to Percival. We asking what would Shula do? He would take the narrative and spin it like a hula hoop. He say let it Coach Flow. Coach Flow gon' do his thing and he gon' bring it to it in and to it. Come and change the game. Watch the squad ball out. Got the fans all excited. Coolers out. Grills on. Got the tailgate ignited. It's the Aqua Horse Society. They know we stay united. DWA. We be down and start a riot. Throw them fins up. Throw them fins up. Hit. Throw them fins up.
It's the new era and we back up in the mix.
Who that?
So low, so low, so low.
Tight as hell. But that's how we put it down. We put it down every time when it's time to show up for the fans. We out here. You dig?
They know it's coming. Yeah.
Yeah, and with it, man. Let's go. DWA, man.
Hey guys, I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, The Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal Dolphin Club.
And you're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
Run it, run it, run it, run it, run it. What is up? It is your boy, Stephen D. Super excited to be hanging out with y'all today. What's going on? What is going on? How are y'all doing today? Super excited to be hanging out with y'all here on this beautiful and wonderful Throwback Thursday. It is your boy Stephen D at Stephen D SKPL. Super excited. Want to say good morning to my Fins family and my Fin-Laws, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clap Blockers. Did y'all have a good time last night? I saw y'all hanging out last night. Y'all were hanging out last night on an amazing show. Shout out to Chris, El Capitan, and the Fins Tailgate Show making their debut show last night. Some of y'all looked like y'all was having a little too much fun last night on the show. I saw y'all. Y'all had some alcoholic beverages. Y'all were enjoying the evening. I'm just going to throw that out there. You guys look like you guys were having a good time. I enjoyed it. I watched a little bit of it, and it was a lot of fun. It looked like it was a lot of fun. So what's going on? Let me get some of the housekeeping stuff out the way, and we'll get started right into the show today. Want to say, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, like, hit the like button, share. Whatever you got to do, just make it happen. Captain, if you're watching right now and you want to go to Twitter and say, hey, look, Twitter, there's this guy. His name's Stephen D. He's got this thing called Miami Sports Music with podcast network with the #1 Miami fan. Let people know that we're here. I can't grow without y'all. And I can't grow without more people, more and more people. So let your cousin, your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, your granddaddy, your cousins on your sister's side, everybody know Clap Blockers is the way to go each and every morning. Okay? Let them know. If you guys want to sign up, become a member to the channel, become part of the family. In my Vin Diesel voice. Make sure you guys go to the link below, look in below where it says description in the link, and you will see a join now button. Join us. Sign up to become a member today. Can we get 2 new members today? I'd love to get 2 new members to the channel today. Sign up if you are not a member right now. Also, if you guys want to donate to the channel, help the channel grow. I don't care if it's $1. It goes such a long way into helping the channel grow. The YouTube live super chat is a big part of that. So, which is the $ down at the bottom of the chat. And it looked like you guys were just having a good time. I'm sorry. I'm reading a comment. Andrevius said that he was just drinking hot tea last night. Andrevius, I don't think you were drinking hot tea last night, sir. There was something a little bit more in your cup last night, and it wasn't hot tea, good sir. Okay? Also, want to let you all know, too, if you want to donate to the channel, there's 2 other ways to do it in the description. Or if you pause right now, you can get the QR code from PayPal, which is MSM Podcast Network, or Cash App, which is $ MSM Podcast Network. I got to give a big shout out to our sponsor, our amazing sponsor, Tailgreeter. Tailgreeter is, let me tell y'all a little bit about Tailgreeter. Tailgreeter is so awesome that I know it's the end of the football season for us, but they got so much going on across the country. They got so much going on. You got college basketball. You got NASCAR. You got football. No, there's no more football. You do have football. We still got the Super Bowl coming up. There are so many events. I don't care where you live across the country. Make sure that you guys go to tailgreeter.com today or download the app and see what events are near you. Concerts, everything. Tailgreeter has the latest and greatest when it comes to tailgating with your friends, no matter what type of event it is. Make sure you go check them out today. And let me tell y'all, we got some stuff with them coming up here in 2022. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. East 32, the #1 tailgate, the #1 tailgate show. I mean, I'm just saying, it's going to be awesome. And now we have the Fins tailgate too. Come on, man. We got everything and everybody. When it comes to tailgating, this is your one-stop shop right here. So go to Tailgreeter today. Make sure you follow them on social media. Do me a favor. If you haven't done so, go to Twitter right now and go to Instagram and follow at Tailgreeter. Okay? You see this? Follow them on social media and tell them, hey, Stephen D at Clock Blocker sent me to come follow you guys. Tweet them. Let them know. Okay? Let them know. I want to give a big shout out to Jose Valdez. Signed up. I got 1 new member this morning. See, we got, I said 2. There's 1. Can we get a second one? And I also want to give a big shout out to Alexander Diaz because his 2-month anniversary of being a member is today. So shout out to Alexander Diaz for being a member of the channel for 2 months. Let's go. Hey, Jose, man, welcome to the family. And I just made you a moderator. And I will look into all the other stuff. I saw some people said, hey, can you look into this person being, I don't block people, but if y'all get crazy on the chat, I know moderators don't allow some foolishness, but I will look into all that after the show today, and I'll look into that. Anyways, I got somebody in the back room waiting to hang out with me today. I don't know how long he's going to hang out. He might hang out for 5 minutes. He might hang out for 5 hours. I don't know. I don't think we're going to be on 5 hours today, by the way. But we're going to have a good time with him for no matter how many, no matter what the time limit is with this man. You want to know why? Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, the content you got this year during Fan Club Weekend, I would not have gotten if it wasn't for this man. I would not have been able to do Fridays at Dirty Sportswear. I would not have been able to hang out at the doing my pregame show at a live tailgate if it wasn't for this man. And I probably wouldn't have went to some of the games if it wasn't for this man. This man is the man. There's nothing greater about this man except, I don't know, he's not as good looking as I am, but that's debatable. We can argue about that at a later date and time. Cameron 954.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Good morning. You know, you sent me the link. I'm like, man, does he need help this morning? Is he got round 3 of World War?
No, we're not doing that
again on Wednesday.
I refuse to do that again. Like yesterday was crazy.
Bananas.
It was
we'll be a little bit less vicious today.
Oh, we're dialing it back in today. We are dialing it back in today. What's up, man? How are you?
Good. Hey, man. So I appreciate you shouting out Tailgreeter because they're a tremendous sponsor of ours here at Clock Blockers and Miami Sports Music. Mm-hmm. Big things popping off. We are going to talk to Nick on Tuesday. More on that later. But everybody in the chat box, everybody listening and watching and all that good stuff, download the app. And that's the fastest way to get amongst all your family members, the Tailgreeter crew, tailgate fans, wherever you go, whatever event, just check it out. You know, it's free to download on Android or Apple. And say you're going out of town, want to check out a baseball game, want to check out a tennis match, you want to check out, you know, he's doing things now with the PGA. It's crazy.
I'm telling you, just because football season's over doesn't mean Tailgreeter and the tailgate has to stop. So it's going to keep on going. He's got a lot of cool stuff, and we got a lot of cool stuff coming up with him. We can't make any big announcements yet, but we're working on a lot of stuff, and it's going to be big for 2022.
Shoot. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be
like, let me ask you, man, in all seriousness, when you started doing the tailgate years ago, did you ever think it would get to what it got to this year and what it could be next year?
Not at all. Man, it was like 10 of us around a freaking charcoal grill in the pay lot in 2007, man. It was nuts. Like, and it just grew from there. Like we started just, you know, people started coming and word of mouth. And, you know, then we got some orange parking passes and, you know, just started, you know, brought a bigger grill out there. And then 4 or 5 years ago, I think you got a visitor.
I do. You want to say hello? Here, come here. Say hello. Here, I'll put the. Here, let me put this down. So, there we go.
Hi.
She says hi, Cameron. He says hi. Say who's the greatest football team?
Dolphins.
The Dolphins. And who's the best daddy in the world? Me? Not me. All right, I love you, baby. Thank you for the tea. Close the door all the way.
That's what it's all about. But listen, man, big things popping. I see people in the chat box going to come down to the games. We're going to do a lot of away games, much more to be discussed on that. But it's going to be a fun 2022, man.
I know, man. I'm super excited. I've had people hit me up about this Baltimore game and got a lot of stuff going on with that. And, oh, man, just so much stuff to do. And then baseball season's right around the corner.
Yeah, you know, if we get this lockout figured out, man, I'm excited for spring training to start, hopefully on time. You know, they've got, you know, through the month of February to figure this out. But, you know, normally pitchers and catchers report first week of February or so. And, you know, a week or so after that, you know, the rest of the team does. But we need, you know, baseball can't afford to have a prolonged lockout that delays the start of the season.
You know, I tell people all the time, I love baseball. Dolphins are my favorite team. There's no team that I'm more of a fan than the Dolphins. But baseball is probably my favorite sport because So real quick story time with Steven. My very first Major League Baseball games were Cal Ripken Jr.'s last 4. True story. And so I've always had this infatuation with baseball and just the summer of 2012, I guess it was, or 2012 or 2013, when the Orioles went to the playoffs that year, because that doesn't happen often for them. I went to like 48 or 54 home games, and 37 of them, and I'm not exaggerating, went to extra innings, and we lost 2 of them. That was it. And it was crazy. And I just had this, I fell in love with baseball way before that. I fell in love with baseball in the summer of 98. And for the baseball fans that don't know, that's Sammy Sosa, that's Mark McGwire, that's the home run record. And I tell people all the time, what you have to realize is baseball was coming off of a year-long strike where the World Series was canceled in 1994. And I don't know if baseball ever thought that they could recover, but they had the home run record in 98 that I think brought fans back to the ballpark. There's none of that right now. Like, you're not going to get that anywhere. So my question to you is how do we increase fans coming to the ballpark? I think is the first thing, because it's so much easier to watch a basketball game or a hockey game or a football game. And like my kids, they like going to the game, but they're not going to sit and watch a 9-inning baseball game. That's not going to happen.
So it's a curious question, because you just hit, so your kids, I don't think Major League Baseball is going to expect them to watch a 9-inning game any longer. But it's about getting them to the ballpark and getting them, getting their marketing arms around your kids. It's not so much what they, will do, what the product is on the field for those 9-year-olds as it is everything surrounding it. So like if you go to Atlanta, man, they have a whole kids park that with, swings and interactive games. And I forget the word for it, but it's really, very kid centric. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a lot more Major League teams doing that because they understand like building the foundation is with the youth, right? For future, fandoms and teams to attract, fans is, through marketing to the youth. But, for us, it's the product on the field. So what makes, fans anytime, especially in Miami, like we're so, fair weather fans down here for the other franchises. Now Dolphins are a little different. We'll come.
Well, that's why spring training's in Florida, man, because everybody besides the obvious, but there's so many other teams' fans that go to the games around the state of Florida because how many Marlins fans are there? How many Tampa Bay Rays fans are there? Let's be honest.
A lot more than you'd think, but
Really?
They don't go to the games. So the Marlins actually average more TV views. They're actually in the top third in TV views.
I did not know this.
Which is very interesting. But we can get all the dynamics of the new stadium. The new stadium is very kid friendly. I mean, my daughter loves it.
Yeah, it's a great stadium. I've been there once and I had a great time.
And it, I don't mind the location. I'm being, selfish because I live, in Broward County. It only takes me 20, 30 minutes to get there. But for these other markets like Baltimore, like, believe it or not, Camden Yards is one of the older stadiums now.
It is. And by the way, the nicest stadium, I don't care what anybody says in major leagues, but I'm biased because I've lived here for 10 plus years. And I think Camden Yards is the greatest thing ever.
But spring training's in Florida, in Arizona for 2 reasons. It's warm weather all year round. The weather's good all year round. There's no threat of weather usually, rain or what have you. And, it's a destination. It's during spring break for the kids. My family, my parents took us to Florida every year to, go to spring training and go to Disney. And, you can have a whole family vacation for a week built around baseball. And that was integral to the success and the popularity of baseball as well. And you see it in Arizona too. Mm-hmm. And level 2 noobs, shout out, fly the dub.
You Cubs fans, can't stand y'all. Nah, I'm not lying. I was happy that y'all won the World Series a few years ago. It's good. All right. So just to stay on the record, how does because you're right. If baseball goes into any serious lockout, it's going to be shambles for them. It does not, like, it would not be any good thing. So knowing that, baseball players need to know that. Do you think they care?
Yeah,
do you think the Players Association cares?
Yes, of course they care, because they want to play. Everybody knows, the owners and the players know that, if the second you turn off fans, it's very difficult to get them to come back, especially with, going into the NBA's playoff run, the NHL's playoff run. It'll be very difficult. You got the NFL draft. So, Major League Baseball, without any lockout or possible strike, already has to fight tooth and nail for, their viewership, for their fans, because the NFL does such a good job of marketing, because the NHL and NBA will be going into their playoffs at that time.
Why has baseball suffered with their marketing? Why can't they seem to get that together? So a big friend of the programs, which, by the way, big announcement. I might as well say it right now.
Say it.
Starting Wednesday, every other Wednesday, starting this coming up Wednesday, every 2 weeks, we are going to have a segment about 15, 20 minutes long every other week with Xavier Scruggs, ESPN personality, in my opinion, probably the number one personality in baseball that covers the game besides Alex Rodriguez. And I personally think he's better than Alex. But I'm biased, right? So I'm super excited that he's going to come on every other week, and he's going to talk about the game of baseball. We're going to talk Marlins and what's going on. But he's different from anything that baseball has had before. He's huge on social media. He has such a big influence and reach, but they've never been big in social media. I can go to YouTube right now, type in highlights for any NBA player, any NFL football player. But if I want to go see like Mike Trout highlights or name some player, like mediocre players in Major League Baseball right now, like above average, but not quite. Like I could go see John Morant. I can go see, all these NBA stars, Trae Young, top 15, top 25 players. I might be able to find some Mike Trout stuff. That was probably not a good example, but I'm not finding, I don't know why my brain is eluding me right now with players in Major League Baseball, because I just haven't been thinking about it. Who's the guy for the Marlins right now? The outfielder, Brinson, right?
He's no longer a Marlin.
See, look at me.
But so to your point,
you get the point I'm trying to make.
Major League Baseball is starting to come around. They're starting to get, like, they broadcast games on YouTube. They broadcast games on Facebook last year, which none of the other major league teams are doing. Which is really cool. So anyway, I don't want to, bog down the show with any baseball talk, concerning the fans, but, just we're excited. Hopefully the lockout ends. They can, come to an agreement. Because,
do you think opening day is going to happen on time?
Man, my hope and wish.
Chisholm. Jazz Chisholm. Yeah. Jazz Chisholm.
Best player is not Isan Diaz. Please. Jazz Chisholm is the best player. But anyway, what I thought you were hitting me up about, because I tweeted out last night and you responded, man. The fourth quarter for the Miami Heat game last night.
So I wanted to talk Panthers and then get into the Heat at the end. But we can go into the Heat.
That was magical. Like, it was
26 points in the fourth quarter.
No, but
the defense was crazy, because they only allowed Portland 12 points in the fourth.
Dude, so it wasn't the points they scored; it's the suffocating defense they displayed. It was PJ Tucker, it was Bam, it was this two-way player that just signed Guy. It was Max Strus, and
Strus has been so awesome this year.
Strus is awesome, and the player I'm forgetting, who was the major piece last night, who used to be a two-way player too. It was a Martin. Yeah. Caleb Martin, I think his name is.
Caleb Martin finished with 26 points.
But
26 points.
Bro, the defense was championship caliber defense. Like, and even Coach Spo talked about it after the game. Bam talked about it. Dedmon talked about it. Like, Coach Spo got up there and said that might have been Pat Riley's most favorite fourth quarter since the championship run. Like, if you were watching it live, it was amazing to watch. And it was team defense, team basketball, unselfish, multiple passes, getting in the open lane. And it was really awesome to see.
Dude, I think that out of all the teams in the NBA Eastern Conference, the Heat are the one team that really don't have to make a lot of moves. I think they're set up to win now and make a run at this thing.
And you know why? Because the moves that they would normally have to make are already on the roster. They're just not playing. Oladipo is going to get sprung on this league, and it's going to be magical to watch. Like, he has been working out every day. He's in game shape. I think Riley's waiting until after the All-Star break to spring it on him. But I mean, Lowry, Butler, and Bam have only played 26% of this team's games together, which is nothing. Once they all get healthy, and which they will, and Tyler Hero was out last night because he got his second injection last night. Man, it's going to be unbelievable.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Cruiser Reeves real quick says, in a time where the NFL is on streaming services like Amazon Prime, baseball needs to do the same with Netflix. The Major League Baseball on Netflix is the move to make.
He's not wrong, and it's part
wrong.
of negotiations. Yeah. That's part of, but they're haggling over, who gets a percent, what greater percentage of those profits? Does it go to the owners? Does the owners, put it back into the team? Do the players get it? Because it's honestly the players that are driving the popularity. So, they're always fighting for a greater piece of the pie. The players are.
All right.
And like I mentioned, they were on Facebook last year. I'm sure they're going to expand their reachability.
All right, real quick, let's talk a little bit of hockey. My Florida Panthers, best team in hockey right now. They are sitting at 26-8, one game or a game and a half, I guess, behind the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Atlantic Division. I mean, they're the best team in hockey, right?
I mean, the Lightning are the best team in hockey.
But do you well, look, here's the thing. It's so funny, right? So last year we lose, or last 2 years we lose to Tampa, right, in the playoffs. And we look at, or at least last year, and we look at that, and Tampa seems to be the team that the Panthers just can't get over that hump. What do they need to do to ensure that come playoff hockey time this year?
It's a great question, because I don't, just like the Heat, I don't see them adding anything, maybe another defenseman. But they are deep. They are the deepest team in the NHL. Their fourth and third line are very, very young, but they're
the Panthers or the Lightning.
Panthers,
yeah.
They're super, super talented. The Lightning, I say, are still the best team because of the champions, right? They're,
so somebody knocks them off the pedestal.
Exactly. And they have the best goalie, in our lifetime. And they are technically the best team in the league because they're number one in points. The Lightning, Panthers, Rangers, and Hurricanes, I think you can all intermix as the top four teams. And you can make an argument for any one of those four teams being the best team in the NHL.
I tell people all the time, when New York teams are good, when the Knicks are good and the Rangers are good, hockey and basketball are so much better. Would you agree?
The Knicks aren't good right now. And it sucks to see, because they're a talented team, but they're sub 500 and they're struggling.
Well, they made the trade for the Duke players,
who I think, that would be a good trade. That I think it's going to be a good trade.
And the trade deadline is approaching for the NBA. Is there, like, A, do the Heat make any moves? And B, is there any moves that you see the Heat making, the Lakers making, any of these big teams going to make that you think is going to change the course of the season?
I'd like to see, so the Heat are interesting. There's Gabe Vincent's their backup point guard. He started last night. He's back up to Lowry. Behind him, they have the two-way player Guy. I can see the Heat going out and trading for a vet. Maybe it's a Rajon Rondo. Maybe they, I don't know. It's somebody.
Rajon's in Cleveland right now, right?
Yeah. So, and he already got traded once this year with someone. Maybe it's someone like that could provide stability and playoff experience, because they are young behind Lowry and inexperienced, even though they're good. The Lakers are interesting because, AD has been hurt, and LeBron is 37 years old. He's not getting any other help that's really consistent. But can you continue to, rely on AD and LeBron to carry you through the playoffs, especially when, Phoenix is so damn good. Like, they're the best team in the NBA. Mm-hmm. It is the Phoenix Suns.
Devin Booker. I mean, that whole team is just crazy good.
Oh, Ayton, Booker. They've got Bridges, who's amazing as a role player. And now that Clay and Curry are back together, I mean, it'll be hard for the Lakers to beat either one of those two and get out of the West. And if you're the Lakers,
Lakers suck right now, man. They're the 8th team in the West.
Yeah,
they suck.
But they don't have AD. So if you bring AD back, like, how much better does that make them? I don't think better than Golden State or Phoenix. And so,
which is so crazy, because if somebody asked you, hey, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Anthony Davis are on the same team, and they're not better than the first 3 or 4 teams in the West, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
And so that's, if you're Jeannie Buss, the owner, do you stand pat and just let that ride, or do you just shake up the team and do you trade AD?
Well, or Russ, because here's the question. Russ has been known to make a stink when things are not going the way they're supposed to go. So if you're Russell Westbrook, do you say, I want to get traded?
I messed up and said Phoenix is the best team in the league. I meant Dallas. No, Phoenix Suns are the best team.
He did not know. Mavericks are number 5, but these Dallas fans, these Mavericks fans, and San Antonio Spurs fans.
I know San Antonio's not even close.
Spurs are 12. They suck too.
So anyway, back to your question. I think the Bulls make some sort of backcourt.
They look good,
but they're injured right now. So it'll be great to see. And Milwaukee's still got Giannis, and you can never count them out.
They're the defending champs.
Durant's injury is huge if it's long term, and Kyrie and his ding dong head. You can't rely on him for every game now. So, how long is Harden going to sit around New Jersey and stand for that? And the Memphis Grizzlies, they've got the most exciting player in the league in Ja Morant.
Ja Morant. Let me just tell you, there's no more exciting player to watch than Ja Morant in the league.
Ja Morant is amazing, and he hasn't even reached his peak yet. Like,
I know, that's the crazy part.
He's not even close.
Yeah, I know. It's so good. It reminds me of the beginning of LeBron. When LeBron was in the beginning, we knew what he could become and what he was going to be. The fact that it came, look, you can hate on that man all you want, but the man is the fastest to 37,000 points or 38. He consistently, year in and year out, plays at MVP level. Even if he's not the best player in the league right now, he's still top 5.
My comparison to Ja Morant is Derrick Rose when he came at the same age.
Well, Rose. Don't wish that upon that man, because Rose,
he injured him, his knees gave out on him, right? So, but Derrick Rose was arguably the best player in the NBA for 3-year span.
Not only that, I'll say this before the injuries for Rose. Because Rose has played in the league a long time, by the way, which is always great. I know, which is crazy. Imagine if he never got hurt. I think he could have been top 10 all time. I think he could have been. The potential was there.
I agree. And listen, Joel Embiid dropped 50 on the Magic. I mean, you and I could score 30 on the Magic, but he dropped 50 on an NBA team last night, and he's only getting better as well. Joel Embiid has elevated his game this year. And it's pretty cool to see someone 7 foot, 290 pounds with the handles he has, the agility. It reminds you of Shaq when Shaq first came out of LSU. There was
playing for the Magic, those Penny Hardaway teams.
Dude, I was there, man. It was amazing. Anyway, he reminds me of Shaq when Shaq came out of LSU.
Oh man.
Anyway.
All right. Let's get into the Dolphin chat real quick, man. Let's talk about it. We're interviewing. Today's Thursday, so I know we got a couple of interviews today. McDaniel, I think, is one of them. If not today, tomorrow.
No, McDaniel was yesterday by video conference. I think today is Vance Joseph
and the Rams assistant head coach.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I posted. I sent you a message last night and solo too, man. Listen, McDaniels. I was thinking about that this morning. Like, so yesterday we were talking about Dable and how he's probably the default, and that's probably the best label to label Dable is he's the default coach, right? Yeah. Like if Ross and Grier are comfortable enough with him to give him the job, but they want someone better, and McDaniel to me is so. There was a good article on Finsider yesterday, and I agree wholeheartedly. So McDaniel's a double-edged sword. He is lauded as probably the sharpest, most innovative candidate offensive mind in the NFL today. McVay, what's his name in San Fran, Shanahan, they all.
Cameron, 3 weeks ago, nobody was talking about McDaniel, not one person. And now all of a sudden he's the hottest thing since sliced bread. You don't think there's a problem with that?
No, because we didn't know who he is. Doesn't mean that he's not, a viable candidate. I mean, we just don't do our research. He's coach in San Francisco. He's 37 years old, but do your research on him. And so my point is McDaniel, he's never been a head coach. He's going to be green in terms of leading a whole team. Can he put together a staff of competent coordinators? But do you take a chance on him, realizing that you have a bunch of young players in your locker room?
Look at Christolakis. It's 30-34 civilization has made its final and moved to Mars, and the Dolphins are still interviewing for a head coach. Come on, bro. There's truth in that. There is truth in that, bro.
So he got interviews last year as a head coach. True. It's all about Ross and being comfortable enough of taking a big chance on somebody who is along the same veins as Kyle Shanahan and McVay and the guy in Green Bay. He's young, innovative. He's relatable to the locker room. He's relatable to hold on, Steve. He's relatable to, the type of culture the players are growing up in today. And that's a big, huge component to this hire. So if you're on the Tua timeline and this team is moving forward, Tua and Javon Holland and these other young players, Jenkins and Phillips, do you bring along somebody who is equally along that same culture vein, but has chosen a path of being a coach? Like, I can see it happening is my point. And I'd be okay with it.
Let me bring in somebody else to this conversation. The man who made his debut show last night, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, the El Capitan, Chris from the Fins Tailgate Show. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Hey, Chris. Good morning.
Good morning, brother. Man, just I had some appointments this morning, getting ready to go head to the job, but I seen my boys in there. I haven't had a chance to kick in and say what's up to you, and figured I'd hop in for a little bit while I had a minute.
No, man, I appreciate this. I mean, number one, let me just ask, how did the show go last night? Because I watched it. It looked like we saw another side of Pamela that we've never seen before.
It is a tailgate party.
Y'all were having a couple of cold ones, and
I told you guys
yesterday. Got a little crazy last night.
Listen, I told you guys yesterday, and I stopped by Doug's show, and I let everybody know this is a real tailgate party, so it does get dicey. So
yeah. Shout out to Doug. 30,000 members reached yesterday on his channel. Doug Lee Do Wrong. Awesome for him.
Yeah, it is. It's it's inspiring to say the least. As other creators, man, to see Doug get the success he deserves. We know that there's something to strive for, and that it's just amazing, man. And it couldn't happen to a nicer guy, like I said before. But yeah, man, it went well. We had a blast, bro. It's a late night show, so it's not for children all the time.
It's not for it is not. But let's get into what we're talking about here with Cameron. We're talking about McDaniel. I'm going to say this right now. If the Dolphins make this hire, and I hope, by the way, I want to preface this by saying I hope that I am wrong. I've never wanted to be more wrong in my entire life. But if we hire any first-time head coach, I guarantee on everything that we will be in this position 3 years from now, within 3 years from now. The guy could get fired next year, but within 3 years, we'll be doing another head coaching search.
Yeah, man, I've had my fair share and my fill of first-time head coaches, and we've been sold the magic beans before, have we not? Oh, this guy's a genius on offense. He's the next this, the next that. And maybe he is, but to sit here and and I hear this a lot. They're like, well, he could be the next McVay. And I'm like, I heard that shit. Oh, excuse me. I've heard that before. Swear jar already.
Swear jar, Chris.
Got me on the swear jar. I've heard that before, bro. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he is. And I like him. And I've watched him, in his press conferences, break things down. That's amazing. I think it's great. But how's a 33-year-old one-time offensive coordinator going to build a staff,
He's
bro?
not going to. He's not.
And just like we've seen with Belichick disciples, we just had one ourselves. They have a hard time building staff because no one wants to be the guy to do Bill dirty, and that's the truth.
Belichick's been coaching for 20+ some odd years. Not one coaching disciple has been successful. Not one. So
not one. The only one is a player disciple right now, and that's
Vrabel. That's it.
That's it.
And
bro.
he never was on his coaching staff.
He was not, man. And Vrabel has something else there too, because you could. I don't know. Vrabel. I like Vrabel, man. I wish he was our coach right now, man. He just.
Chris,
seems
I'll say
like
this. You and I don't disagree with you. Like, because we're fans and we've all been down this road before, right? So we're gun shy, but you keep taking stabs until you hit one, right? Like there's no such thing as a guarantee. Like we all want Doug Peterson. We all want, Jim Caldwell because, there is comfort in their hiring because they've been there, done that. Right.
Yep.
But the points I was talking about earlier about McDaniel's relatability to today's player, I think holds more weight than hiring somebody that has been there, done that.
Haven't we done that already, though, Cameron? Didn't we do that with Adam Gase? Didn't we do that with Flores? Somebody who can relate to the players.
Here's what I have.
So let me answer Steven's question first. No, and because they're different molded coaches, right? Like Adam Gase was the hot commodity because of what he had in Denver, correct? Mm-hmm. Like we can in hindsight, we can make the argument, and I got a fun Adam Gase story. We can make the argument that he was riding Peyton Manning's, coattails. So Adam Gase, funny enough, went and coached a high school team, I think in New Jersey this year, and they had a losing record.
I know, right?
Listen,
they had a losing record.
My guy Mike on the mic was going to talk about that, man. He when he told me he's got like some little video clip about it, man, from like somebody's phone or something. It's hilarious, but
it's crazy.
Cameron, I gotta say, bro, do we hire McDaniels and find out he's been riding the coattails of Shanahan and his great offensive mind? You know what I'm saying? We've bought this, like I said before, magic beans before, believing. I know for a fact Shanahan's running that offense over there. So when 100%. I hear that he's offensive coordinator and we're like, well, look at that offense. I don't know if he's, maybe he's got plays dialed up, but that's exactly like Adam Gase. So he's over here dialing up these crazy plays.
There was a interview with Kittle talking about McDaniel and what his role is in the offense. So to your point, he constructs the offense, right? And gives a series of offensive, like a playbook for each game to Shanahan, and he calls the plays. You're right. But it's McDaniel who puts the plays in place, constructs the plays, and really teaches the plays throughout the week and gets the team prepared for that game. Listen, and I'm not saying that McDaniel's the right pick. I'm not saying he's the wrong pick. What I'm saying is that
we should
I'll say it. We should absolutely understand that he is a viable pick.
I would say this, Cameron, and real quick, Steven. I'll start pushing this narrative. You know what, McDaniels? A lot of people don't really know if you're a good offensive coordinator. You should come down here and do a year of offensive coordinating and just prove to everybody how good you are. You know what I'm saying? That's That I would like more if we get a guy.
I am in 100% agreement with you. You give him the OC / head coach, assistant head coach title,
Nah, you
and
got
bring
something.
in a Caldwell or bring
That's
in
right.
Peterson.
That's right. Yeah, you
Someone
get somebody.
By the way, you have to, but see, here's the problem with that, fellas. Then you have to have a head coach being told who his coaching staff's going to be. That's going to go over real well. Not.
Well, I think in
all.
more ways than one, Steven. I think Chris Grier, and I said this last night, Chris Grier is El Capitan of this team right now. And
I'm not giving up. He gets no pass from me from here on out.
Oh no, brother. I said that too.
Yeah.
I said,
there's no Tannenbaum anymore. There's no Flores. Now this is all you, bro.
It's all Grier. It's all Tua.
Right.
It's all, the focus on them.
And let me tell y'all something too. So, Eric Bieniemy, right, is one name that I absolutely think deserves more than anybody in the NFL to be a head coach for many different reasons. But you brought up a great point, Chris. What if somebody gets here and we find out that they're the magic beans that they've been so like is Andy Reid calling the plays there? Most people think that that's the case, right?
No doubt he is.
And what are we to say to somebody like that? And the other problem with Eric, in my mind, when it comes to the Dolphins, is the man's coached under Andy Reid for how long? How many years? So what is a coaching staff he's going to put together looks like? He's going to call up people who he has no real relationship to be like, hey, do you want to become the offense court? No. Leslie Frazier, Doug Peterson, Jim Caldwell, Dan Quinn, all of these guys who've coached in the NFL before.
They got a Rolodex.
They got a Rolodex, man.
They do. And they've got guys that would be probably very excited all over. I mean, damn, probably even some that are in the Canadian Football League, guys we don't even know about.
I promise you on everything. We get a first-time head coach. Within 3 years, we're doing the same thing, except it'll be an entire reset all over.
Unless we get lucky. Unless we get lucky and we get lightning
prove
in a
me
bottle.
wrong, Dolphins. Please prove me wrong,
bro. Please, give me the next freak of nature offensive genius in there to dial
that's
up
exactly
plays.
what there's everyone says McDaniels is. So if you have the opportunity to take that stab, are you willing? If you're Ross, to gamble?
No, I'm not, Cameron. I'm not because
I'm not.
Ross has gambled on that. Every time. It's always been,
I don't think he is as well because of his age, because of where he is. He already has a tentative deal to sell the Dolphins.
Yeah, but Brian Daboll's the same thing, Cameron. So Brian Daboll, in my opinion, is the favorite to get the job right now, right? Would you agree with that? Yes or no?
Totally is.
He's
dude, he's Daboll's just almost the same thing as McDaniel. Oh, he coached under Saban. Oh, look what he's done with Josh Allen, which by the way is BS. Look at all the things he's done.
Yeah,
Daboll's a first-time head coach who's failed at 90% of the places he's been to and stayed very short tenures at the successful places he's been to.
If Dorsey comes with Daboll, I'll feel really good about that.
And I tell people all the time, why? Listen to me. Why would Ken Dorsey do that? Ken Dorsey automatically would become the offensive coordinator in Buffalo.
But I don't know.
And I would rather. I'm telling you, that's what would be the case.
Well, listen, I'm trying to build my dream team. If it was my dream team, I say put Tua on ice for 3 years, get Aaron Rodgers, get Nathaniel Hackett, and get Devontae Adams, and try to get a Super Bowl over the next 3 years.
You hoping?
And listen, we're talking about dreams here. I mean, look, there's less of a gamble in doing something like that than thinking that McDaniels is going to be the next Sean McVay. I mean, I can almost guarantee that you bring Aaron Rodgers in here and you're going to get offensive.
I'm telling you, the one thing that nobody talks about, which is the thing that the Dolphins should do, is trade for a head coach. Nobody likes that. I get ripped for that every time I bring it up.
Yeah, but who? And I know Sean
Payton.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
Tomlin,
Sean Payton's the king.
Sean Payton, Mike
Tomlin.
Tomlin. Sean Payton,
Mike Tomlin would be good. I like the Mike Tomlin. That's a
good. There's also this that we talked about the other day, Chris. What's the attraction? If Daboll, let's say hypothetically, Daboll has his choice between Chicago and Miami, why would he pick Miami?
There's honestly, in a business perspective, I don't think outside of other than talent, money, and a willing owner to invest, I don't see how Miami's attractive to a lot of these guys, to be honest with you, because guys that are the cachet that I think we're going to need, like a Jim Harbaugh or something like that, and a little off topic here, guys. Jim Harbaugh is going to end up going to Las Vegas. Yep,
Yeah,
he's going to go. And you know why? Because they just gave him the piece he's going to want to make sure he'll be another head coach, and that's GM control. And they fired what's his name, and now they're going to give him it all.
Fired Mike Mayock.
So what's that say about Ross's ability to attract his own alumni, his alma mater?
So I'm hoping that Chris Grier is smart enough and savvy enough, because I do believe he's both, to figure out a way for him to be the scout that's made him so successful. Because let's be real, guys, his scouting ability is very good. That's why he's elevated
Except
every
that
year.
offensive line. Except that offensive
Yeah,
line.
you know what, man? I have theories about that. That looks, I think they got caught holding the bag that year with Tua, and they picked Tua as the backup plan. And I think they just panicked, honestly. In some ways, I think they had assumed that they were going to trade for Burrow, and that they were going to give all this capital, all this stuff for the number 1 pick for Burrow, and it didn't happen. And I'm guessing also that Cincinnati was like, yeah, and they had sources on the inside telling them it's probably going to happen. And then
do you think Cincinnati thought about it?
I think Cincinnati really did, because I think from what I'm hearing, they were offering 6 first-round picks in value, so for number 1 overall.
That would have been the craziest trade of all time.
It really would have.
But it's franchise changing, for both teams.
Big time, brother. Big time, brother. Imagine if we were in the other situation. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, just from taking yourself back to that standpoint, like if you didn't know Burrow would turn out to be who he is, it's still franchise changing, right? You're giving up 6 first-round value picks for an unknown commodity. So, I think, to your point, like the Dolphins made the same.
Well, it would have been like 3 first-rounders and like a bunch of mid picks and a couple of players, but it would have added up to it. But I think on the swagger alone, he would have been fine in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Buddy's over here smoking stogies and getting, being a cool guy. We love that here in Miami.
With his Dior glasses.
Yeah, we would have loved that. So
let me bring in somebody else to the conversation. You guys know him. You guys love him. He's a big part of Miami hip hop, Miami sports. He's a big person that's been in this industry for a very long time, but he is my brother from another mother. I love this man, Lorenzo Iced Tea. What's up, baby? How's it going?
Lorenzo,
what's up, Steven? What's up, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
Lorenzo, man. Good day, man. How are you?
Good. We were offering 3 first-round picks for Joe Burrow. Is that what I'm hearing? And that's what came out?
3 first-round picks. It was a bunch of mid-rounds, and it was Xavier Howard and somebody else.
Wow.
That we would have given up for the first. And from what I understand, they were going to take it. But at the last second, I believe they said, no, we're just going to go for it. And they kind of won in that way. They're still in the playoffs. So,
yeah.
Well, I mean, they made the right decision. One of the things, Lorenzo, you've been going to games for a very long time. You've been covering the team for a very long time.
Yeah.
And the Dolphins just can't seem to make the right decision. From your eyes, why is that always the case in Florida?
Oh my goodness. Man.
We only have 2 hours here, Lorenzo.
I know, man. I know. But when you look at the 2 individuals right now that are at the top, that are in charge, and then you look at an organization like the Miami Heat, and I'm a New Yorker, a former Knicks fan. That was my first love. And after they treated Patrick Ewing the way that they did, I was done. I faxed in my fan card, just like Pat Riley did. And Pat is here in Miami. And if you watched that 4th quarter last night of that basketball game between the Miami Heat.
Cameron and I were just talking about that. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh,
it was amazing.
I'm getting chills. I got to go back and watch that 4th quarter again.
Man, we were standing up watching it, like cheering.
It was like
for the defense.
I was just shaking my head like I cannot believe what I'm seeing that these guys. I thought it was over at the start of the third quarter when the Blazers came out and jumped on top of them. I'm like, they don't have it. I mean,
they only allowed 12. They only allowed 12 points in the fourth.
Points, and it was the way the defense was swarming.
Suffocating.
It was a suffocating. Those guys, I mean, the two guards just scored 20 in the first half each. They came out and said, we're going to shut them down. And you sit back and you see the coach, Spo, at the press conference, and he comes up and he says, my boss would have loved that fourth quarter. It would have been one of his favorite of all time.
Yeah.
And you sit back and you see the common denominator and the thread that is connected through the ownership and Pat Riley and the coach. And you sit back and you say to yourself, that's exactly what the Miami Dolphins are missing. When you have an owner that spends 6 days a week in New York, if you're a head coach with a general manager that you can just roll over because he's just going to be whatever you want. If you want this, I'm going to give it to you. When has he ever made a hard decision and said, okay, this is the player that I want? He just basically goes along. Gase did the same thing. And just when Grier was in charge. So when you have someone in that position and you're looking at the two guys at the top, you just like, come on, man. Can you,
Lorenzo, that's kind of the point I was making.
It right. Yeah. Can y'all please get it right?
I think that Chris Grier is savvy and smart enough, as we see. He never gets boxed in any corner. You know what I'm saying? He's made it through several regimes at this point. I'm wondering if he's going to be savvy enough to see someone like Harbaugh come in, or a big coach that's going to want his job and take that role that he has Reggie McKenzie in, or Czar or something like that. So he could still be with this team and give the GM controls. But even to guys like Harbaugh, they see that Flo had control of making those picks.
Yeah.
So there's a real partnership here. I'm hoping that that's the sale. I'm hoping listen, I might be GM title, but I'll switch it to Czar and you'll be the GM. And then now a guy like Harbaugh is getting 2 checks, which I believe is part of what he wants. He wants perfect control.
So let me piggyback on that, Chris. What the problem was in San Francisco is he did not have final control.
That's exactly right.
Right. And so he knows wherever he goes right now, he needs to have final say of whatever. That's what
LA. That's what the Raiders are putting on the table.
And Miami's not going to do that because they're stuck with Grier, which goes into, should we have just got rid of Grier too?
Well, I don't think they
he's
have
family.
To, because I think
he's family inside the organization.
He's family to Ross.
He's family to
Ross. Right. They obviously boys.
He's Ross's boy.
Let me give you an inside look. I mean, you gotta give Stephen Ross props for everything he's done for the organization outside of hiring.
I think he means well.
I think he will roll out the money. I mean, if y'all see this practice facility,
it's amazing.
Oh my goodness! I mean, the stadium,
Lorenzo,
the way it has been redesigned, and what he's done with the tennis courts and everything he's done to uplift that area of Miami Gardens is incredible. You can't take anything away from him for what he has done. And Tom Garfinkel and Jason Jenkins and all of them, it is a family-knit organization. I mean, it really feels like that. And they take care of their alumni. I mean, OJ.
That I do love, man. They really
go ahead, Cameron.
Lorenzo, go back to your original statement and you hit the nail right on the head. So comparing the Heat to the Dolphins, right? Mickey Arison has entrusted Pat Riley with his franchise, and Pat Riley has done, yeoman's work decade after decade. So really the comparison is Riley to Grier, right? Because we both agree Arison and Ross invest in the team. They've built a culture, to your point, both in operations and in the facility.
Right.
So, Grier is the one, I think, whose shoulders it falls upon. And I think this hire, his coach, will either be the last one ever as his career or make, him, one of the better GMs. Because if he misses on this coach hire, He's done forever.
He's done. He doesn't get a second chance.
Right. But when the boss is away, those that can, you got Flores is a New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker, and we talk passionately. And a lot of times when we talk, people may misconstrue what we're saying as like, yo, we want to beat you up, or we're going to punch you in your face. You know what I mean? He's a man's man. So if you're soft and you can't take that type of dialogue, and then you say, oh, this guy's kind of soft, I can walk all over him. And the boss is not there 7 days a week. You are the head man in charge.
Lorenzo, you just said, look at that facility and look at all the stuff they buy and all the la. They're making them soft, if you ask me.
No.
Lorenzo,
I talked about this earlier.
I'm saying that as a credit to what Stephen Ross has done for the organization. I'm just trying to give you a picture of how well it's run outside.
Lorenzo, my brother-in-law has a good view on that. Stephen Ross, although I appreciate it, it's him investing in his company. Everything he builds for the Miami Dolphins he's getting back tenfold in value. Now, it doesn't seem to me like Ross has any plans to profit off this. You know what I'm saying? So there's not like that. But I don't know, man. I think if we don't, getting back to what we're talking about, coaches here, if we don't bring in someone who has that control, we will see this political game played again. And that's what I worry about with the McDaniels, Cameron, is that McDaniels, although might be the next genius mind in all of football, can he survive the backdoor politics that it's going to take to be that way?
So Lorenzo, just, we were talking about this earlier, Lorenzo, before you got on, Chris, and Steve, about how the relatability to today's player and the culture is so much different than what Flores grew up in to what the culture is in the Northeast and in New York City. Like the players down here have much more say about what goes on the field inside and out that locker room. And I think, there's more weight placed on the relatability a coach has with today's culture of type of player than in years past, than ever before. It's just culture today. It's just how society is, right?
Yeah.
So as much as you and I and everyone think that Caldwell and Peterson are the right choices,
they are,
which I think they are as well. Like we have to recognize the fact that there's a reason why Flores isn't here, what that reason is. And, much to our chagrin, it could be the relatability to that locker room.
I think they basically got so overwhelmed with the power. Gase and Flores were in a situation. That's why I was talking about Stephen Ross and everything that he's done. But when the boss is away, when he's not there and you feel like you're the man in charge, you will talk to anyone any way that you feel. If you feel as if you know more than anyone else. And coming from that Belichick tree, most of those coaches have that same type of.
Lorenzo, name me somebody from Belichick's coaching tree that's been successful.
No one. That's what I'm saying. So he's walking around with that type of attitude and talking to people. Anyway, we've heard the reports of how, people
look at Flo
he's an
too,
asshole.
Flo looks like the kind of guy that will meet you down the alleyway. You know what I'm saying? He don't look like someone you want to step to. Flo looked like he threw them hands growing up. You know what I'm saying?
You have to step to him. You can't be intimidated by that.
That's what I agree with you, man.
Even the people in management, you have to step to him because if you don't, he's going to run over you.
Go back to your heat comparison real quick, Chris. Go back to your heat comparison. So when Riley hired elevated Spo, he was the youngest coach in the NBA. But because of the culture Riley instilled in that team,
UD is the reason. And
he's a vehicle for that culture because he translates.
He keeps him in line. And me and Big John Stud talked about this yesterday about we're missing a UD type of guy to that follows the leader and then dictates it to the young men. And then the superstars that come along. Listen, UD isn't the kind of guy where he's like, it's me first. You can walk beside me, and Jimmy Butler has enough respect to go, I'm never going to be out in front of you. I might be the star, but you're the man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's easier said than done. This team doesn't have an elder statesman like that. So you're going to kind of need that to be your coach in a way. But I also see that So here's what Big John Stud and I have, and I got to let you guys go after this, but not having this role right now, this team doesn't have a faced leader, and it almost seems like they want that to be Tua. That seems to be what they want. But, and this is what I was explaining to him, college sports has changed. These kids coming out of high school now are already sponsored. They're already making money. They got TikToks and millions of viewers. They're rich. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to dangle in front of them? And that's a new breed of athlete that's coming here. The NFL for so long has prevented themselves becoming like the NBA.
That's why AB can act out and be like, yo, I'm out. And now he's a superstar on social media.
AB will play in the NFL again.
He will play again because these guys are more of a business in their own entity than ever before. And so when I see the team changing in ways that are different, and I disagree with them in some ways, especially going soft in a game that's so violent, but the new breed of athlete that's coming out over the next couple of years from now until wherever we go with the NFL, hopefully international, that's where it looks like it. But these guys, you can't be their boss. You can only be their partner. You know what I'm saying? You can only be their partner.
So
and
doesn't that make McDaniel more of a viable contact, to my point?
I agree with you.
He's more relatable to that style of player.
But I agree with that. The only downfall I have with McDaniel is who the hell's he going to bring in with him? Because it's nobody. So that means we got to keep everybody we got and hope that they all follow him. And although I think they'll get in line, but the politics, brother, the politics.
Yeah.
That's where I don't think he's ready for this game. Because listen, I'm 36, and even now I can't handle politics like that. You know, that takes.
That's why I do this every morning, because I hate politics.
Yeah, the snake in the grass will always bite you. So 100%. If you don't know you don't know how to watch out for them, it's
real quick, because I know you got to go. I want to remind everybody. Last night was the very first show, the Fins Tailgate. If you missed it, go watch the replay of it. And tomorrow night, the debut show of Covering the Spread, hosted by the Fins Tailgate crew.
That's right.
And so it'll be the first sports betting show on our network.
I can't wait, man. It's gonna be awesome.
You guys are gonna do great on that, and that'll be at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. And I'll have the graphics and everything set up for you later on.
Steven, just real quick, everybody who's watching, if you have bets lining up and you're wanting to get advice, we appreciate the questions. And I know betting isn't for everyone. And first of all, guys, my brother-in-law has the best saying: "This is Happy Meal money. It's meant for fun." You know what I'm saying? Don't go betting money you don't have. We're not financial advisors. My guys are on a heater. I'm not going to lie, but don't go here, risking your mortgage payment or something. People. Please don't do that. But also, if you don't understand things about betting, the lingo, there's a lot of weird lingo, hook, spread, all this stuff.
You guys are going to talk about that on your show.
We're here to educate.
Yeah,
we're here to educate. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here, man. Lorenzo.
Hey, Chris.
Cameron,
hey, get my information from Steven. Steven, pass it around to the guys. Yeah. Hey, y'all can text me anytime if you need me. I'd love to appear on the platform. Your platform.
Love
anytime.
to, brother.
Call
Steven,
me.
Text me his number, brother.
I got you. I'll take care of you.
All right, guys. All right,
take care, Chris.
Y'all. Hey, Lorenzo, real quick. I love when you do that bit where you're on the green screen talking to the guys.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so freaking funny.
Thank you.
Bro.
Thank you. I appreciate
love
that.
bit.
I
It
appreciate
is hilarious. Very, very unique. I gotta say, man.
Chris, I know everybody. You didn't know this, bro. I got with everybody cool in South Florida.
Dude, when I see that, I was dying laughing.
I stopped because I got so depressed during the losing streak. I was the losing streak. I just got so, and they were just dogging us so. And I thought about coming on and doing something recently because the national media was just so off on this firing of Flores. And
honestly, Lorenzo, I was hoping you were going to come out like screaming and arguing with him, man. I would have loved to see that.
I still may do something, but
please do, man. Because
you brought that up, I'll still do that.
Get heated, get crazy with it. Because I'll tell you what, man, the caricature you put with that bit is freaking money, bro. It's money. I love it, man. I love it. I'll be in touch, man. Thanks, guys.
All right.
I'll see y'all later.
Okay.
That is Chris El Capitan of the Fins Tailgate Show. This is Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clap Blockers I'm your host, Stephen D. We're hanging out. It got crazy yesterday. I could not do a crazy panel again today, so I asked a few people to come on. Cameron954 was so gracious to join me, as well as Lorenzo, and we're going to keep the party going about this conversation and a few more, as long as you guys can stay on. If you need to go, let me know. Okay. But let's get kind of back into it. So the Dolphins, who do you think will be the next head coach? I guess is my next question to you. My vote is I think Daboll will be the next head coach, which I think is wrong. And then my number 2, I think McDaniel could be a guy that they do, which I don't want to be. I think they're going to choose a first-time head coach. I don't think they're going to choose the guy that should come in. And that's the other problem too, right? Like you look at the fan base. There's no one clear favorite within the fan base. Nobody said, hey, we all need to get Harbaugh. We all need to get Caldwell. We all need to get, McDaniel. No, the fan base is so split on what the next thing to do is.
Now, when you say we talking about Josh McDaniel for the Patriots?
No. We're talking about Mike McDaniel.
Okay.
From 49ers.
49ers, okay. All right.
I don't even know what his title is.
But. Yeah. He's fun, though. That's not
going. It's still. It's not going to equal wins.
I look at it this way. Because we're such a family-oriented organization, Stephen Ross and Flores would probably like to maybe keep Josh Boyer, and if we could retain X and re-sign Emmanuel Ogbah and Kasicki, and just get an offensive-minded head coach in here, can he win with what we have? Of course, going out and signing some veteran offensive linemen and getting a running back and of course, trying to add a number 1 or number 2 wide receiver. I think we could do that in free agency. And I just look at it from this standpoint. If Flores had it his way last year or the year before last, I should say, Tua Tagovailoa wouldn't have played at all. And had we started Fitzpatrick the entire season, we would have made the playoffs. We would have been in the playoffs. In fact, if Ryan would have stayed with the team,
that's a narrative I don't believe. By the way, I don't believe that narrative.
I could pinpoint 2 games.
Oh yeah.
If Ryan Fitzpatrick starts that Denver game, we win that game. Tua had 5 straight 3-and-outs, was sacked 5 times and hit 6 or 7 more.
And he wasn't ready to play.
People complain about him being pulled out. Everybody need to go and watch that game. He was terrible in the Denver game. And that game, and Fitzpatrick came in and threw for 150 yards in the fourth quarter. And then it was an interception in the end zone that basically sealed the game. And then the other game we would have won, I can't remember. That win right there, the Denver win puts us in the playoffs.
Yep.
Right there. We win. Instead of going 10-6, we go 11-5. So
but he would have given us a much better chance to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, and here's why I think that's wrong. There's a reason Fitzpatrick has been a career journeyman, and one of them is he's inconsistent. So you're expecting somebody who's been inconsistent his entire career. By the way, let's get something straight. I love Fitzpatrick as a guy, but he would have thrown interceptions. He would have gotten frustrated. He would have it would not have the games. I guarantee you, there's some games that Tua won that he would not have won. It just
and vice versa. His play. Yeah. His play over and to Lorenzo's point, Tua was not ready to play, both physically and mentally, right? He didn't know the playbook. His hip wasn't close to being ready to play on the field. Fitzpatrick gave the team the best opportunity to win that season. I don't care what he did past or what he did last year. But for the Dolphins that season, there's a good chance we would have made the playoffs with Fitzpatrick playing the whole season.
Yeah, and we would have to go back and look at game for game. But I just remember everyone talks about Tua being pulled, but those 2 games that he was pulled, he was playing terrible. And we all remember the Raiders game, in Vegas, he was playing terrible. And Fitz had
the one thing I would have liked to see Fitzpatrick in the Buffalo game.
The final game of the season. Yeah. I kind of think that he would have played had he not caught COVID.
He would have. I think he would have.
Flores said Tua. Now that we know what we know, even if Tua's our starting quarterback, I feel that Fitzpatrick would have played that game, regardless of what Flores said. We now know how he felt. He would have given us the best chance to win that game. And even the defense gave us an opportunity to win that game on the first series where they intercepted Josh Allen. And instead of Tua putting 7 on the board, we had to settle for 3. And then at the end of the first quarter, we were up 3-0 in that game. I say Fitz would have put a touchdown or more points on the board and been able to take advantage of the opportunities that the defense was giving us than, Tua did. And just look at the big games, the last 3 big games we've had over the past 2 years. We could talk about the Raiders game. He played poorly. Let's talk about the Buffalo game. He played poorly. Let's talk about the Titans game where he played poorly. Those are games that came down to us making the playoffs. And he played.
Yeah,
poorly.
but I can't believe I'm about to do this and know I'm going to get killed for it. I can't put the 100% blame on Tennessee on Tua.
Me neither.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait. You want to break down the first quarter or the second?
You cannot put that blame.
Hey, Lorenzo,
Lorenzo,
I'll tell you this, man.
Dude.
I was in the stadium and the weather, let me tell you something. There's Tua threw for 80 more yards than Tannehill did, and they all did it going the same way. Nobody. So my problem with that game is that I think the team was unprepared. They got drilled defensively, special teams, and offensively. Granted, Tua played for shit. He was throwing ducks up there. But we got away from the run game that was working, and because we were down 17 points at halftime. Listen, the defense they were out of position. They totally got run over. It was
not in the first half. Not necessarily in the first half. That first drive.
But explain to me why. Hold on. Explain to me, and I'll let you answer. Right. Explain to me this, Lorenzo. 7 carries for 49 yards at halftime. Not once did we go back to Duke Johnson. Not once. That's not Tua. That's the play.
You want to know why? When your defense comes out there, Tennessee has the ball. 3 downs and out. You punt the ball to the offense. They move the ball into Tennessee Titans territory. What happens? Nothing. They kick the ball back to Tennessee. What happens the next 3 downs? 3 and out. Second straight possession. Offense gets the ball. What do?
Play calling.
Nothing.
That's not Tua. That's play calling, Lorenzo.
I'm saying, what did Tua and the offense do after shutting them down? Basically 8 yards on 6 plays. The offense gets the ball and you do nothing. You kick it back.
You got Gesicki trying to throw a pass downfield. Come on, man.
Wait. I'm talking about I'm breaking you through and then what happens on the 3rd drive? You get the ball and then the special teams fails you and you give the Titans an opportunity to start the drive at your own 46-yard line. As a defensive player, how do you feel about that? You're like, we didn't shut them out 2, 3 and outs and the offense has done nothing. Then you stop them on 4 downs, right? You normally would force a field goal. But what do the Titans do? They know your offense ain't going to do anything because who the quarterback is. And you've already been running the ball a little bit, but you've been making mistakes on those drives. You'll have a drop pass or you'll have a ball that's thrown into the ground. And what happens on that next drive? Tua fumbles the ball after they stopped them on 4 downs. They said, you know what? It's 4th down. We should kick a field goal. This is what the Titans say. We don't trust their offense. We're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. They end up converting on 4th down, scoring a touchdown. All right, the offense gets up. Tennessee's up 7-0.
By the way, there should have been pass interference. Let's just throw that out there on that one.
But what happens on that next drive when the offense gets the ball? That's when Tua fumbles. And the defense comes out there again and shuts them down and holds them to a field goal. It's now 10-3. Now, I can say yes, because they're down 10 points and they know Tua doesn't have the ability to really bring them back. They should have run the ball a little bit more. But with the weather conditions, not trusting Tua, because Brian Flores definitely didn't trust him, they tried to throw the ball to get back into the game. But the defense did enough in that second half to basically keep them in the game. And this reminded us of the first 8 games where the defense did enough to keep us in the game. If you go back to that Tampa game when both corners were hurt, in the 3rd quarter, the score was 24-17. We were in that game, and
Lorenzo, you're making a lot of friends in the chat. Just so you know,
I'm not lying.
No,
I'm
Lorenzo.
bringing up facts. I'm telling
Lorenzo,
you.
we were down 17-3 going into halftime. The Titans got the ball and ran it right down our throat. The Dolphins gave up 17 points in the third quarter.
Yeah, but as a defender, you're just based at that point. You're like, yo, what more do we have to do?
They were in the game,
but the offense ain't doing anything.
Dude, they gave up a touchdown in 4 plays to start the second half.
Yo, man, but if you playing defense, man, it's like it's demoralizing when you come out there and you punch the offense in the face and the offense does nothing and you walk back out and say,
you're going to sit there with a straight face and tell me
straight.
that Tua deserves all the blame.
No, I'm not saying he deserves all the blame.
That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying he deserves all. I said offense. The offense did nothing.
Okay, and what is part of that offense? The 32nd rate offensive line, a horrible play caller, wide receivers that can't catch passes. Come on, bro. That's not all on Tua, though.
And that's the same team that won 7 games in a row, right? It's the same team that won 7 games in a row.
Right.
But when it comes to the big games, big players show up and make big plays. And it starts at the quarterback position. That's why I went back and said, listen, if not saying that Fitz would have been so much better, but you need a quarterback that can carry your team. Do you expect Tua Tagovailoa, even if we made the playoffs, to go into Buffalo and do something in that weather? Do you expect him to go into New England in December? And now that the season's long, it's going to be January and February where they play. Do you expect him, even if we're in the playoffs, or go to Kansas City where it's cold, or Tennessee where it's cold? We have to win the division. So it's like, do you expect him to go out there and ball out of control as a quarterback in bad weather conditions?
Hey,
do you trust him to do that? I don't.
And everyone, if you ask that question, everyone in Buffalo about Josh Allen after his second year, they would have had the same answer, bro.
Yeah, but he showed the tools. He showed the arm strength. He showed that he could run.
Lorenzo, let me ask you a question. If Miami had a better offensive line,
if they had a better quarterback, we'd have been in the playoffs.
Oh my God.
If we'd have had a better quarterback, we would be in the playoffs. But we lost 3 games.
I don't even know how to argue this with you, bro.
Come on, man. The quarterback
Deshaun Watson, yes, would have won us more games. Aaron Rodgers would have won us more games.
I just said a better quarterback.
Russell Wilson.
You know who didn't win us more games? Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
And that's not.
I don't know. I don't know with that offensive line. Jacoby just held the ball a little too long.
Bro,
Jacoby was straight trash, Lorenzo.
Yeah, man.
He was a freaking lateral in his own end zone.
I don't think. I'm just saying. I don't think we would have won more games with Jacoby because he holds onto the ball too long. That's what I said, Steven. I think
that's on Flores because Jacoby was Flores' guy.
Yeah.
Just so you know, the entire chat room is for Lorenzo for president right now.
And I'm fine.
Let me go over the comments. I'm in the private chat. Let me go over here.
Like they love you right now.
Man, I'm there.
I will tell you this, man. It's make or break for Tua, right?
Yeah.
So Grier, going back to your original dissertation before
Pete,
this
you're wrong,
came
Pete.
up.
Pete is funny.
Hey, Pete's awesome. But Grier has the tools now to put everything around Tua.
Right.
He's got the capital to spend in the draft. He's got capital to spend in free agency. If Grier is showing that by and large he can make the right picks and make the right free accurate.
In this last draft, not the 2020.
Yeah. Well, listen.
I'm saying, let me rephrase that. Not in the first round of the 2020 draft, because after that he picked some players.
I agree.
David,
and listen, you can't discount.
You
can't discount what Christian Wilkins has done too, and that was his
first. True. And Mika Fitzpatrick. I mean, that was a great draft pick. You know what I mean? Regardless of what happened, now I can go ahead, Cameron. I'll tell you a Mika Fitzpatrick story after this.
No. So my point is that I am all aboard the Tua train, but understanding that this is his make or break year, and if he comes out as a 16th rated, passer again next year, it's time to go.
Yeah. But we do have to give Tua some. He does need weapons. Like I saw a report that Calvin Ridley might be available for a trade.
I would love him.
Oh my goodness! I'm like,
could you imagine Calvin Ridley and Jalen Waddle?
No, but I'd rather have DK Metcalf because if they blow that up in Seattle, he's going to be available.
Yeah, but I hear Calvin. It might be just a second round pick. And I mean, if he's dealing with if he has mental health issues, what better to do is getting with his
former quarterback and his best and one of his best friends at Washington.
And potentially his head coach or his offensive coordinator from Alabama.
Exactly. Well, that would be Brian, right?
No, it would be Gable.
Okay, that's what I mean. Brian Gable. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Brian Flores, Brian Gable, right? So, I would love that, and then that would help Tua. And then just after that, work on the offensive line. That's like, I don't know. I think we only have one number 2 in this upcoming draft. So I would say make that, trade that.
I think it's 1-1-2-2s in this. I think
that's what they want.
2-2.
Listen,
no, I'm saying we have it.
It's not a big draft to what the Dolphins need. Like I can absolutely see Grier trading down and to gain more second and third round picks because that's where your value is in this draft.
True.
And we don't, and I don't think we're going to go and there's only 2 number 1 type receivers in this draft, and they're going to be gone by the 22nd pick.
I'm telling you, the Dolphins will not be drafting Thursday night. They will not draft the first night. They're going to
I don't disagree.
It really doesn't matter. I mean, after the maneuver that Chris Grier did, now we had San Francisco's pick, and it's going to be like at the bottom of the first round after all. I mean, I like Jalen Waddle, but all of that craziness that we did, it's like we could have stayed at 3 and had. Well, I'm not even going to all that because we don't even know if Tua would be able to get the ball to Jamar Chase if we did pick Chase or what have you. But we're happy. I'm happy with Waddle. Happy with Waddle.
And through the first 6 games, we all thought San Francisco was going to be a top 10 pick, and now look, I'm saying they might beat Green Bay.
The other thing you have to realize, too, guys, is we have $72 million in cap space. We have the highest amount of cap space, and by the way, we can clear another 25, 20. No, it's like 24 or 25 mil. All right. So we could potentially have $93 million in cap space. We'll have all the capital and draft picks. Bro, like there's no reason you can't go out and re-sign
$18 million and just allocate it to your draft class. Okay. So you've got $80 million, let's say.
Okay. I'm good with that. And you're going to and you should re-sign Agba. Should is the key word.
100%.
Now, who are the other players we need to let go in order to get that 25 to 24 million you were talking about?
Parker.
Somebody. Oh man, hold on. Let me look. Go ahead. I'm gonna
I think Devontae Parker was one of those players. I remember seeing that, but I thought it was 19. Albert Wilson was one of those that we could free up some money, and he really disappointed me this year. I thought he was going to be able to step up and do a little bit more.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Byron Jones let go because Needham has proved that he can play out there.
Rumor has it they're saying that X is the one that will be gone.
One of those two, I think.
Well, did you see his cryptic tweet?
Yeah. He was like, peace him out.
Yeah, maybe that was to Flores. Maybe he knew what was coming.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope he retires a Dolphin because
I do too. I love X, man.
Yeah, we love him as fans, and he has proved once again that he is a great player. It's just that he's getting older, and you have questions about, okay, when will that knee, finally rear its ugly head, but the past 2 seasons he showed up and played the way. And if we keep him, then all we have to do is upgrade the positions on offense. If we can keep this defense intact and keep Josh Boyer as defensive coordinator and just upgrade the offense, we're talking about 10 wins the year before, 9 wins. I think with those improvements, we can get to 11 wins, which would get us into the playoffs. I'm
looking for the tweet right now. Keep going. I'm looking for
and I think that's how Ross, because of the family state of mind, they want to keep the players and the coaches that they now have in place there. And all they have to do is bring in an offensive minded coach who would say, okay, we're going to work with this defensive coordinator. Or that's why they're interviewing like a Van Joseph, who that's Van Joseph basically.
Yeah.
It's Vance Joseph, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Vance Joseph, who has been here before. Say, okay, if we lose Josh Boyer, then we can possibly bring in Vance Joseph. And can he work with whoever the offensive coordinator may be? Will he be the head coach, or will the defensive coordinator be the head coach? I think that's why they're interviewing all these guys to try to figure out who can match and work well together and work together with Chris Grier, his general manager.
All right. if the plan is to build, so this is from Neil Driscoll on Twitter. If the plan is to build around Tua Tagovailoa, this is from January 10th. The thread is this is how I would use the resources to build the team. Starting cap space, $75 million. Release Allen Hurns, Jesse Davis, Ethan Carter, Clayton Fedulum, Devontae Parker post June 1, Greg Little. And restructure Byron Jones, which will bring your total space to $109 million. Okay? Free agency. Matter of fact,
Jason Sanders is not in there.
I need to put this on the screen because it's
Jason
really
Sanders
good.
in there?
Jason
Sanders is not in there, is he?
Jason Sanders is not in there.
Okay, good.
All right, so there we go. So there's the first one, right? The plan is to build. There's the names. All right. Restructure Byron Jones, which will bring your total to $109 million. Free agency. Gesicki will cost you $12 million. Agba, $15 million. Duke Johnson, $3 million. Matt Collins, $3 million. Morgan Moses, $12 million. Ryan Jensen, $12 million. Duke Riley, $3 million. Isaiah McKenzie, $8 million. Okay. Then draft. Wide receiver, running back, linebacker, O-line, linebacker. I don't like the
he's
draft.
high
I don't
about that draft pick. Olavi is not going to be there.
I don't like the draft there. But I think he's onto something there, right? And what is that? 12, 15 guys, do the math for me in here. 12, 15, that's 30, 33,
33, 45, 65, 67, 70, 78.
78 mil out of 109 mil, right? And what is that? What's the 78 minus or 109 minus 78 or vice
Listen,
versa?
I think Gesicki is going to cost more than $12 million.
Yeah.
And I love the Isaiah McKenzie thought. You know, he's a South Florida guy, but look at who's available. Braxton Berrios.
$8 million for Isaiah? I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either.
Yeah.
You could have
well,
Braxton.
and here's the biggest thing I didn't see up there. I mean, Morgan Moses at 12 and Ryan Jensen at 12, right tackle, and
it hurts that Morgan Moses because he's been here, man.
Well, I want to see us put $30 million into the offensive line.
But where?
Yeah.
I mean, between free agency and draft.
You're talking about which position, right?
I'm saying what positions, because they're happy with Dieter. They've invested in Jackson, whether we like it or not, and moved him inside at guard. They just drafted Eichenberg, who, for all intents and purposes, he started every damn game as a rookie.
We were 32nd in the offensive line in the NFL.
Understood.
But I think we messed up Eichenberg in training camp when we were moving them all over the place. I didn't like that philosophy. We're going to start our 5 best offensive linemen. If you're going to draft Robert Hunt, who's a right tackle, well, let him
make him your right tackle
like he did in his rookie year. Why move him to right guard?
And they had success the last 6 games of the last year when Hunt was at right tackle. He was good.
So at the beginning of the next season, training camp, put Eichenberg at left tackle and go ahead and put Hunt at right tackle and let them stay there. I don't know if Eichenberg is actually, strong enough, or maybe he's better at right tackle, but wherever you put him there and let him stay there. So they can get one of the problems that Austin Jackson had was the previous year, he had Eric Flowers, a veteran offensive guard, right next to him. So if he had any issues, Eric could be in his ear, letting him know, hey, listen, they're about to do that twist. We know he was getting killed on that twist. You know what I mean? When he was at guard. But when he was at tackle, he had Eric Flowers right there to help him, and he didn't have that this year. Who was next to him? He had a rookie right next to him. So basically, who was playing guard prior to that? I can't remember off the top when he was starting at. I can't remember who the guard was. Was it Solomon? It was Solomon. So
Solomon started.
Yeah, he started. So come on. So basically, we probably need a veteran center in the middle of that offense.
All right, hold on. Here we go.
But
so this
whatever
is
money.
This is from Pro Football Focus. Top 100 players that will be free agents. We got Devontae Adams, potential free agent. Taron Armstead, tackle out of the Saints.
Can't afford him.
Chris Godwin. I said Chris Brown. Chris Godwin, wide receiver. Edge rusher, Chandler Jones. Edge, Von Miller. J.C. Jackson, corner. Mike Williams. Marcus Williams. Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown should be the Dolphins' #1 priority in free agency.
How old is Orlando Brown?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not that old.
Yeah, you sure?
He's up there, though.
No, he's not.
He's up there. He's been around.
Orlando Brown Jr. Hold on.
But no, I'm with that. I don't care. I think that was Brian Flores' philosophy. He wanted to keep. Of course, he didn't want any veterans that were going to be in the locker room that were going to challenge him, like Kyle Van Noy challenged him.
He's only 25 years old. He got drafted in 2018.
Wow,
I didn't know that.
There must be another. Cameron,
you're thinking about his dad. You're thinking about his dad.
We probably are. Us old heads.
Yeah, we're thinking about someone else.
So, by the way, the contract projection for him is 5 years, $105 million, which is $21 million a year. I'm telling you right now, go get Orlando Brown, and I'm telling you, it will and then I'm okay with Jensen at center, right? And so now you just added 2 great guys. Go out and draft, another offensive lineman or 2 in the 2nd and 3rd round. And by the way, you re-signed Duke.
Yep.
And because you draft back, you'll have 2 second-round picks. You'll have 3 second-round picks. So
and
you get a running back in one of those picks in the 2nd round.
And
I'm telling y'all,
if
let me
McKenzie
be GM, I will change it all.
If McKenzie leaves, we get 3. We get 2 third-round picks if he leaves. Yeah, so that's added draft capital right there that Grier will be able to play with. Now, one thing
the Bears are looking at him.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you both this. So, Kansas City last year retooled in the offseason their offensive line, right? They drafted 2 guys. They drafted Creed Humphrey, who I was banging the table for.
Yeah, we won.
Orlando Brown. They signed Tooney from the Patriots. They invested in these guys.
Mm-hmm.
If Orlando Brown and if all things are even, like Kansas City and Dolphins offer the same damn contract, why is he coming here? Especially
he has no loyalty. He has no loyalty to Kansas City. Let's get that straight.
And But all players want to win, right? And they're perennial Super Bowl contenders.
2 things. Miami will offer him more money. That much I know.
And I just think we need to change our entire philosophy.
And the he's going to make more money here because there's no state taxes.
Right. But I just think because of some of the things that I said about Tua and being able to play in cold weather, I really think we need to return to. I know I'm about to say this, but we need to run that ball. I mean, for the RPO to work, we have to run that rock.
Duke Johnson.
Yes,
Duke Johnson and a rookie running back in the
if
second
Tua
round.
is going to be our quarterback, we need to build an offensive line and run the ball down.
You guys have helped me feel so much better. All right, here's what we're going to do. This is what you're going to do. You're going to trade that 1st-round pick back. You're now going to have 3 second-round picks this year. Your very first one you're going to use on a running back, and your 2nd and 3rd second-round picks are going to be offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bro, all day long.
And I'm telling you,
he's gonna draft 2 more cornerbacks. You watch.
But I will die. I will, dude. Pitchforks and like better not.
Right now, I just think that's why I'm saying we need to run the rock, because when you look at those games in September and October, if we are a running team, it works in September and it works in January. And you have to be able to run that, especially if we're staying with Tua, because the threat of the run was really not there. So it's not.
So the RPO doesn't work.
Right. So you got so many teams. If you look at these playoffs, look what San Francisco did to Dallas with a 4-man rush.
I was surprised about
Oh, my God. That 4-man rush was destroying him. Look what the Rams did to Kyle Murray. You know what I mean? So,
Kyle Murray,
Yeah, Kyler Murray. I said Kyler Murray. That 4-man rush is big. So
he might need to go play baseball.
Yeah, and that's
as bad as he played.
Right, and that's what
Kyler Murray was out there trying to listen. He shouldn't have thrown that duck, but listen, Drake was, or not Drake, but what Bernard? Now who's his running back? Was injured. Hopkins didn't play. I don't understand why they didn't get Kelsey the ball more than one time.
Yeah.
But that he was bringing a pop gun to a war, man. That wasn't fair.
Yeah, my point was if you have teams rushing 4, and that's what the Titans beat us. They just rushed 4. They didn't blitz, and they put 7 back. And Tua wasn't able to find the spaces or the holes in the zone. So you got to be able to run the rock, just like Tennessee did. Run the ball in September and January, and we will be in the playoffs. I mean, so it starts with the offensive line and the trenches. And if we build a free agency there along with what we have drafted, that will improve the offensive line. And with Duke, we saw what Duke was doing with this offensive line. So if you get better run blockers, the offensive line is going to be so much better.
100%.
So I want to transition the conversation to a conversation about the playoffs this weekend coming up.
I got 10 minutes, Steve.
Okay. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to see what good teams are doing and see how do the Dolphins copy that blueprint. But before we do that, let's get into the playoffs this weekend. First game this weekend, Saturday at 4:30. The Bengals and the Titans play each other in Tennessee. In Tennessee. Cameron, you go first. Lorenzo next. What are your thoughts?
Woo! It's all about controlling the line of scrimmage, right? Derrick Henry or not. Like, I don't think Giovanni Bernardi, right? He's the backup. Like, he's been playing well.
He's in Tampa.
Yeah. So who's the backup for? God, he ran all over the
Forte.
No.
For the Titans, you talking about for the Titans?
Titans backup running back.
Foreman? Was it Foreman?
Yeah.
Foreman. Okay.
So anyway, they play a double tight end set. You know, they've got the wide receivers that can threaten down the field, so they clear out the secondary. The Bengals' run defense isn't that good.
Right.
And I think that's how the Titans win this game. And let's see, So
do you think Tennessee's going to win?
Yes.
What's your score prediction?
Man, it's going to be a low-scoring game. 21-17.
All right. Lorenzo, Tennessee is the home team.
I would really like to see what the forecast is going to be first. Yeah. If it's going to be cold, rainy, snowy, I'm going to give the advantage to the Titans. However, it's a sunny, balmy day, and in the 20 somewhere around there, I think Burrow is going to light them up. I really think
Sunday is going to be sunny with a little bit of clouds, high of 47 degrees.
Bengals. I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
So I read an interesting stat about Burrow this yesterday, and when he is blitzed, his QBR rating is the largest drop in the NFL.
But he knows how to extend plays, unlike our quarterback.
Well, I'm not comparing him to anybody.
It just reminded me. Tua needs to definitely work on that, extending the plays. When you roll out and it's not there, finding the open guy.
Cruz is calling you out, Lorenzo. Lorenzo, you said the forecast don't matter about an hour ago.
What you mean? An hour before the game, an hour before kickoff?
No, he's talking about. You said if the reason that you pick Cincinnati is because of the weather, where you were given.
If the conditions are better for passing, then I'm going with Cincinnati. If it looks like it's going to be cold and rainy and snowy, I'm going to lean towards the running game, and the Tennessee Titans have the better running game.
I think personally, Joe Burrow is going to kill Tennessee this weekend. I don't even think it's going to be a close game.
Don't let Cincinnati get a lead.
I don't think it's going to be a close game.
And that was my point with the Dolphins game. Get in front of Tennessee. When you get those opportunities and your defense stops them, you got to put touchdowns on the board. And then Tannehill turns into Tannekill. You know what I'm saying? When he's got to win the game and you put the pressure on him, then that's when he makes the mistakes. But when he can sit back there and play action and do all of that and rely on the running game, that's when he's able to manage the game. And as Dolphin fans, we know that. If he has a running game, he's 9 times out of 10, he's going to be able to win the game. If he has,
because he's a game manager.
Even though he does have a lot of fourth quarter comebacks, that you have to get a big lead early in the game and force him to have to throw the ball. What did he throw for 150 yards in that game?
Listen, if it's a close game coming to the end,
I'm gonna give it to Tennessee if it's close.
I give it to the Titans.
All right. Let's go to the next game. San Francisco at Green Bay. It's a 8:15 game on Saturday night, and it's supposed to be cold. That much I know. I'm going to look at the thing now. Lorenzo, you go first this time. Green Bay, San Francisco.
The health of the 49ers is important. They lost two defensive players in that Cowboys game.
14 degrees and sunny on Sunday. Or excuse me, it's Saturday night, right?
It's some
Boza and one of the linebackers got hurt in that Cowboys game, right?
Yes.
It's good. So the high, by the way, is going to be 21 degrees that day. So it's probably not going to. It'll be colder than that at night, and there's a chance of precipitation. So it could be cold and snowy for the game.
Yeah, I with that game, because of San Francisco's pass rush, and then how healthy is Aaron Jones? The health of the 49ers defense is very important if they want to play the way they played against the Cowboys. So, if you're looking at that, if they are at full strength, they can make – Green Bay has had so many games where you think that they are going to be the victor because of the home field advantage, and they have just laid eggs so many times. And the way they've looked – of late, they've been a little inconsistent. But Show has Jimmy Garoppolo. I have to go with Green Bay. I just have to go with Green Bay because of the uncertainty of the 49ers defense and their health. Because if they're not at full strength, they're not able to put pressure on Aaron Rodgers. You just got to go with the Packers.
So, Lorenzo, Fred Warner had a full practice yesterday. Nick Bosa was limited practice. Jordan Willis, who's their defensive tackle, limited practice. Those guys will play. Yeah, I'd be surprised if they didn't have a full practice today.
Yeah, but Jimmy, there's no reason why that game should have come down. It should have been that close, Cowboys and the 49ers.
Yeah, so people don't realize San Francisco was in the midst of one of the biggest choke jobs in the world for that game.
Like that third down, that pass, it reminded me of the Super Bowl pass that Jimmy missed, where I can't remember who the wide receiver was, but it was a third down. He overthrew him. He completes that pass, and they go on to score. That game is over.
Garoppolo's no longer the quarterback there either.
He's not quarterbacking in this game?
No, I'm saying
yeah.
Yeah, if Dallas goes on to win that game,
yes,
because of that pick,
right?
Garoppolo's gone.
But they didn't trust him. That's why they kept running the ball over and over again in those last few drives. So, he threw the interception. So, I mean, San Francisco did everything they could to just give that game to the Cowboys. But
Dallas did everything to shoot themselves in the foot. 14 penalties.
Actually waiting to happen.
Real quick, guys, who score predictions and favorite? So, Lorenzo, you think Packers?
I'm going to go with Green Bay. I don't think they laid a dud. I don't think they'll lay it now to be in the championship game if they laid a dud. Not now. I think they'll pull through. They're pretty healthy as far as I know.
Score?
I'd say 35-21.
Okay. Cameron?
Listen, I want San Francisco to win. I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl, but it's hard for me to see them beating Green Bay in Green Bay.
At night with the snow.
Yeah. With the conditions the way it is, if San Fran can come out and run the ball, control the clock, they have a chance. So I'll say San Fran 28-26.
Yeah. And someone just texted Aaron Jones. I had him in fantasy, so I'm like, it's time for him to have a big game.
I think Green Bay's going to win, and they're going to again. I think Saturday neither game's going to be close. I think Green Bay wins big. I think they win 33-13. Like I don't see San Francisco being able to do anything. Yeah. All right, Sunday's game. Rams Buccaneers 3:00 game in Tampa. Ooh. Rams having to travel all the way to the West Coast or East Coast. What are your thoughts?
Cameron, you want to go first?
Cameron, you go first.
Man, how do you bet against Brady? I don't even care. Like, he could be thrown to the parking lot at 10 and he's still going to win, right? Mm-hmm. But the Rams defense is legit. They have the tools to beat Tampa. But again, it's a home game. It's Brady. Like, I hate to say this. I mean, I hate to say it. Tampa Bay 17-12.
They're going to hold Matthew. So therefore, this is the game Matthew Stafford implodes.
He becomes Matthew Stafford.
It didn't happen against the Cardinals. I mean, but they looked so good during that
They
game.
ran the ball.
Yeah.
They ran the ball.
And the thing is, if the offensive tackle for Tampa Bay, what's it, the left tackle? Is the left or
Wirfs.
Yeah, Wirfs. If he's not healthy,
yeah,
it's gonna be a long day. Is Leonard Fournette coming back? Is he playing in this game?
They said this morning that he practiced.
Okay, so I mean that's key. But I had Matthew Stafford in fantasy, so I believe, and Odell Beckham. So I believe that. Yeah, I believe I have to go. I'm gonna go with the Rams with this one because. As a Dolphin fan, I would never bet against Brady, but I just think they've just had so many injuries, losing Godwin, losing AB, and then the Rams defense, the way they just showed up in the game against the Cardinals, I think they're going to show up with the same intensity and be able to get that pressure up the middle. We as Dolphin fans know how you get to Brady. You got to pressure him up the middle. And Aaron Jones can do that pressure up the middle, and they're having problems with their left tackle. If he's not playing, he's still in a walking boot. I got to go with the Rams.
Hey, and if Cam Akers goes off the way he did last week,
oh my goodness, yeah,
that's a game changer.
Yeah.
My final score prediction is I think the Rams win in a close game. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be 28-23 Rams.
Cool. Yeah,
I think it'll be close, but I don't. Look, I have said all year that I believe Tampa Bay is fool's gold. I'm not buying into them, but as Cameron said, you can't bet against Brady. It's very hard to, which is why I think it'll be close.
Yeah, I mean the injuries.
I think Stafford. I think the Rams are the better football team. Honestly, I really do.
Right. But you got Ramsey who can lock down Evans, right? You double Gronk, or they've got the speed on defense that, I mean, if you double Gronk, even if you want to do that, then who else do they have? They got, Bernard that'll come out of the backfield and be that scat back that Brady likes so much. But what else?
Howard, you got nothing, man.
Yeah, I mean, what else is going to, basically threaten that Los Angeles Rams. I still say St. Louis.
I think the Rams.
Hey, we've been saying this as Dolphin fans for decades. Lord. We see Brady do it with nobodies, right?
I know, and so that's why it's tough. Like, look, I won't be surprised if Brady wins, but I truly think that the Rams are the better team by far and away
right now.
But it's Brady, right, and that's the tough part about it. All right, last game of the weekend. I personally think this will be the game of the weekend. I'll actually give my score prediction first. Bills and Chiefs. Bills in Kansas City. I think this is the game of the weekend. I think it'll be high scoring. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I honestly think that the first team to put up 40 points wins. And I think Bills win 42-38, something like that. Like it's going to be that crazy.
Yeah, I've been saying since the beginning of the season, Steven and Cameron, that the Bills are the best team in the NFL.
They are.
That's why I was saying at the beginning of the season, after seeing them down here in Miami and seeing what they were able to do to our defense, and our defense did play well in that game, the one that was played at Hard Rock Stadium. And just the offense couldn't do anything. We got into the red zone, and that was with Jacoby Brissett. And we got into the red zone 4 times, and, the head coach decided to go for it instead of kicking field goals. We kick a couple of field goals. It's 14-12 at half. Anyway.
It's going to be 46 degrees and no chance of precipitation.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, the confidence that they have, they are riding high after the beatdown they just put on the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
And you've got offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators for Buffalo that want to show out, and they are going to try to show what they can do to Kansas City.
But I will say the first team to 40 points wins.
Yeah, but I'm going with Buffalo. I think Buffalo is going to win this game.
Cameron?
I'll say Kansas City by 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Why do you
so disrespectful to Buffalo?
All right, so here's my theory. Mahomes is getting in the groove. Like, he's played really well over the past 4 games. Tyreek Hill has been on top of his game. I don't see like I respect Buffalo's backfield, but listen, they got too many weapons on that Kansas City offense. To me, again, it's about Kansas City being able to put pressure on Josh Allen, containing him into the pocket and not letting him outside of the pocket and running. If
not gonna happen.
if Kansas City is able to do that and limit his rushing yards and make him be a pocket passer, then they have it. Then I think Kansas City wins, like by 2 touchdowns.
Cameron, I will say this early in that game, and this is what we've been lacking on the Dolphins defense. When Josh Allen runs that ball, someone needs to knock him into last week, last month, last year. Right? I don't care if you got to get a 15-yard penalty
or a $15,000
in that game. He's running. You need to punch him in the mouth. Because it's too many times as a Dolphin fan, I've seen him run that quarterback sweep, and nobody hits him. I know he's big and I know he's fast, but someone needs to hit him so he can think twice about it. If Kansas City sets the tone early in the game, gets him shook, now they have an opportunity, but they
keeps him in the pocket, makes him use his head, which he's got a brick up there. Listen, I get it, man. Like, nobody wants to tackle Josh Allen. He's as big as a defensive lineman.
I'm not saying go for his knees or do anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying hurt him. You do any illegal hits, but you got to hit him so he feels it, so he thinks twice about it. And I don't think we've seen anybody do that to him. Have you seen?
I agree.
He's quarterback sweeps. And he's not getting hit? Come on.
Dude, that guy, he's got the mentality of Gronkowski, right?
Right. So
a brick wall.
I just want to say in my predictions, I only had one home team winning this weekend, and that was Green Bay. I have all the away teams winning.
I don't gamble because of a reason. So
say I don't gamble, and there's a reason why.
I'm just not good at it.
Yeah, I'm just going off the top, man, because I haven't even looked at any of the games, but just kind of taking it down.
I want to say 2 things. Number one, thank you for you guys coming on this morning. I really had a great time.
Thanks for inviting me.
It was so much more calmer than yesterday. Tomorrow we will have a panel. I will open up the entire show tomorrow to the entire panel.
What was it like, Steven?
Oh my God!
Oh my! Dude, you need to, like, if you need just background stuff to listen, like, you need to go back. So yesterday it's Mortal Kombat Wednesdays or Wildin' Out Wednesdays. And it was the Watsonites versus the 2 in ears. But it ended up getting even crazier because it got personal. We had 2 people that I love. Look, man, it just got crazy. A lot of swearing, a lot of swear jar.
Wow.
A lot of swear jar.
It got personal with a couple of them, and I thought we got a sponsorship from Backyard Brawls out of it. Like,
I love it.
So let me ask you this before we go, Steven. So what is the take on Watson? Do fans still think we're going to trade for him, or is that
there's a contingent among the fan base that wants him and thinks that we will get him, and the Dolphins think that there's definitely part of the fan base that thinks that the Dolphins are still all in on it, and they're not wrong. Look, some of their points are
valid.
But
but basically, we know the narrative that has been put out by the organization tying.
We don't know. We don't know the narrative. That's the problem, right? There's all these. Hey, this is what Stephen. Like, I've heard 3 things about Ross and Grier over the last 3 weeks. Ross and Grier wanted him. Ross and Grier didn't want them. Flores was the one that was pushing. Like, I've heard all of them. So until it's over, I'm just going to believe that we're probably still in on the opportunity to bring him.
I think we're still in, just because Ross had the conversation with Watson, and that we do know. Yeah. And we don't know what that conversation could have been like. And at 81 years old, and as long as you've owned this team, you've been lacking a franchise quarterback.
And by the way, we also had Picketeers, Kenny Pickett, the quarterback at the University of Pittsburgh. We have a group called the Picketeers now too.
Well, Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy. The fan base is insane.
if he still wants to come here after, of course, all the allegations are cleared up and what have you, if he settles whatever the case may be, if he still wants to come and play with his former teammate or teammates, he has a no trade clause. So basically, the Dolphins can offer 2 number ones. You know what I mean? And if he says no, someone else is offering 2 number 3s or 2s. He says, "No, Houston, I want to go to Miami."
So
You have to, he has to take whatever Miami offers. And if you're a quarterback, why would you want the team to give up 6 picks? Because you want them to have the capital to go ahead and get more players. So he can dictate what his value is in the trade and then say, hey, you know what? This is where I want to go. If they're offering 2 number 1s for me, that's what you have to take. And then he comes here, he restructures the contract.
It does crazy. 100%. 100%. All right, guys, I want you to promote what you guys have. Cameron, you're usually on Spread Kindness Friday, but you've been out twice this week. So I don't know if you're coming. Are you coming on tomorrow? No, I didn't think you were. All right. That's okay.
Call me. I'd love to come on tomorrow, man.
All right. Well, then I'll get Lorenzo to replace you tomorrow. You get replaced tomorrow.
Sounds good. Good chopping it up with you, Lorenzo.
Cameron,
Cameron, pleasure.
You know, promote Tailgreeter, East 32 and all that.
We're all good, man. Hey, East 32 Dolphins Tailgate. Find me, Cameron954, on all your social platforms. East 32 Dolphins Tailgate on all your social platforms. But download for free tailgreeter.com. Download that app and get on the Tailgreeter train, man.
I love you, Cameron. Be easy, buddy.
Have a good day, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Cameron, real quick. Tuesday nights. I forgot to promote this.
Oh, boy.
Tuesday nights, ladies and gentlemen, at 8 p.m. Tuesday nights. We are going to be doing, at 8 p.m. leading into Hellfins, the Miami Sports Music Power Hour. Cameron, myself, Jamie Bahamas, and sometimes Solo D. Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Well, you know how Solo is. Solo is right on time. But it's just going to be the Miami Sports Music team. And we'll have a special guest on here and there. TD's already agreed to come on one night. Dougley's already agreed to come on one night. I know K Flexen will. We'll have one special guest on like once a week or once every 2 weeks. So it'll be a lot of fun. And it'll be an hour show. And it'll lead into Hellfins. So, Cameron, your first show that you're officially a part of. Are you excited?
I'm not officially a part of this one.
See, look at you, Cam. Cam, you are. I'm sorry. I see. Now you made me feel bad.
Hey, it's all good, gentlemen. Have a great day, man. I'll talk to you on the flip side.
You too,
all right, man. Be easy, buddy.
All
right. Hey, Lorenzo.
Yes, sir.
Promote, man. Promote. People want to know where you're at. They loved your takes today. You were the MVP for today.
Well, thank you, man. I'm just speaking, and thank you so much for the platform because it's extremely therapeutic, and it's so, and the idea of the running game, after watching some of these playoff games, is I said we're going to keep 2, and you're watching these games where the teams that are running the ball or that can run the ball are the ones that are victorious. Especially those that are playing in cold climates came to me just watching these games. I'm saying, and for the RPO to work, we got to have a running game. Anyway, so I need to get some of my paraphernalia up here on the screen. I got everything else behind me, but 100 Hip Hop and R&B FM. That is my radio station where we play hip hop, R&B, throwbacks. It's a station that basically covers, the New Jack Swing era up into today. And if you like your old school and soulful music, the station is 100 Hip Hop and R&B FM. You can find it on iHeart. You can find it on Odyssey. If you got an Amazon Fire Stick, you just grab it, hold down the button, and say 100 Hip Hop and R&B FM. Boom, the station will come on your TV. Alexa, get it enabled. There's so many platforms, and we play great music. We have great conversations, and the station is doing extremely well for those that do support. Thank you. I appreciate it. I am the CEO and owner of it, so happy to be able to do it. And thank you so much, Stephen, for having me on, man.
Lorenzo, you are the man, brother. Where can they find you on social media? Are you on Twitter?
Oh, okay. IG, Lorenzo Iced Tea. Lorenzo Iced Tea is spelled ICETEAIG. On Twitter, Lorenzo Thomas. Facebook, Lorenzo Thomas. And that's basically it. To be on all those platforms, man, it takes a lot of work.
You're telling me, and I have to run my account, Miami Sports Music.
Yeah, man.
And so I'm involved in 50 million other things.
And YouTube ain't no joke either, trying to market and promote this.
Well, bro, it's been crazy. And then, I haven't told you, why I just quickly have you on. I think it's a great segue. Wednesday nights, the Fins Tailgate Show, live every Wednesday, which we had last night. If you missed it, go check out that. Tuesday nights, we're going to start a show at 8 p.m., but starting at 9 p.m., Hell Fins, Spanish-speaking podcast for the Miami Dolphins. I love my Spanish-speaking podcast guys down there, Armando, Paris, and Chochos, all of them. Big shout out to them. Fire and Ice Combat Sports will return. I don't know when yet, but Angel will be back, so be on the lookout for that. Starting on Mondays only, 9:30 a.m. Dono and Daniels live every Monday. Alex Dono and Steven Daniels. Myself. So I don't know if you heard that news. So Dono and I are going to have a show on Mondays, which I'm super excited about. That will be a lot of fun. Starting live every Monday, starting at 9:30, and then Friday night, tomorrow night. I still haven't made the because I got to make all the graphics for everything too.
Yeah, a lot of work, man. A lot of work.
We're doing covering the spread. With the Fins Tailgate crew, and it'll be
someone quoted about the Yankees, and so I had to flip the hat around.
The Stankies.
I'm a New Yorker at heart, first and foremost. So,
a TD on location asks, is that the real Iced Tea? Yes, he's the original Iced Tea.
Lorenzo Iced Tea. Big shout going out to DJ Cool.
You've been doing this for years, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but I love my Dolphins, man. Love my Dolphins. So anytime we can talk about it, and it's going to be a long off season. And the Heat. So proud of them, man. So
they look good right now.
Oh my goodness, and what they're doing. Last night without Lowry, without Hero, and Jimmy Butler getting ejected in the second quarter.
Oh boy, yes he did, and they still. Without Jimmy Butler had that crazy fourth quarter.
And he got 2 T's on one play.
It was BS.
And you know what I love about them? They poke so much fun at one another, especially when you see them. They're making the post-game comments or interviews or conferences so much fun because even Bam last night, he came up and said, yeah, man, we could ball without Jimmy. We don't need him. You know what I'm saying? And then Jimmy last week was talking about Martin, and he was like, Martin needs to go to Spo and tell him, put him in the starting lineup. And look what Martin does when Jimmy gets ejected. Scores 25 plus.
Yo, here's the real talk. The team is cohesive, bro. They get along. They work well together.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, team chemistry, you look at every championship on the face of the earth.
Right.
Every championship.
Right.
They all got along. Even super teams in the NBA.
But you know what? Right? Tua and a lot of the players said that they had great team chemistry. You heard that from a lot of the football players this offseason. They were talking about how they all got along and were doing things off the field. So it's interesting to see
having movie night together, or they have trips where they dress up, and costumes. Like it does, man.
It means
so
something.
Big.
And I think it goes back to what I was saying about Ross and Grier and Tom Garfunkel and Jason Jenkins and everyone that's in management positions. It's a family atmosphere there. And if this defense, which we all know is a Super Bowl caliber defense, if they can keep it together and just fix, some of the things we talked about on the offense, just start with the offensive line, because it starts in the trenches, and keep the team together. We could definitely win more than 9 or 10 games. That's how I feel,
Right.
So.
All right, man. I had fun with you this morning. You'll be on tomorrow, it sounds like.
Yeah, just hit me at what time?
9 a.m.
Ooh, 9. Okay, all right. I might be a little late, but I'll chime in.
That's fine. We'll see you when you get here.
All right, man.
Tomorrow.
Thank you so
Have
much,
fun,
bro.
Lorenzo. Be good, bro.
Thank you for the comments in the chat. I appreciate it.
Get out of here, Lorenzo. This is Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clap Blockers. I am your host, Stephen D. Super excited to be hanging out with y'all today. I hope you all enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun today. I just super glad to be hanging out with y'all. And I hope that, we have the opportunity to have a great show tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed it today. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Donate to the channel, help the channel grow. All the links are in the description below. The links to PayPal, the links to Cash App. Alexander Diaz sent me a Cash App of $10 earlier. Thank you, man. I really, really appreciate it. I will look into God's Soldier right now, Bubba Voss. I will make it happen as soon as I get off the air. And yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Good show, Steven. 1234 says, Level 2 Noob says, Clack Blackers, I thought this was the Lorenzo Power Hour. Of course you did, Level 2 Noob. Of course you did. Crystal Lacus said that was a great show. This was a great show. I appreciate it, Crystal Lacus. Hope you all enjoyed it very much. We'll see you all tomorrow on Spread Kindness Friday. That's right, Spread Kindness Friday, my favorite day of the week. Have a lot of fun tomorrow on tomorrow's show and also tomorrow night, okay? Covering the spread. Brand new show, 10 p.m. Make sure you guys check out tomorrow's show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Love you all. Y'all the best fans in the world, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.